ऑटो फोकस पर रखो ना। એવું લાગે ને દર્શન 45 મિનિટ પર જોઈ લેવાનું અને પેલી લઈ આવવાની પેલી બેટરી બદલી નાખવાની. એમ ખુરશી ઘરે એડજસ્ટ કરી લે.
વાત કરવાની નહીં તો
કનેક્ટ તો કર્યું
કર્યું તો ખરું
ને નવરું કરને
અહીંથી પેલા વાત કરો.
હા રીતેન સર સ્પીડ લો વોલ્યુમ કર.
યસ સર.
હા બોલજો એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ થાય છે.
ડન છે સર, બરાબર જ હતું.
હવે બરાબર છે.
હા
ઓકે ચાલ આ કર ને તો પાછું બગડી જશે.
ઓન કર્યું.
ઓય બરાબર છે રીતન સર.
હા થ્રુ બસ બસ બસ.
કમ્પ્લીટ ને.
હા
કેટલા જોઈન થયા?
51.
કેટલા?
51.
51 છે. શું સ્ટાર્ટ કરું તો પેલી બેટરી લઈ ચાર્જ કરી લે. રીતેન સર સ્ટાર્ટ કરવું છે?
યસ સર.
હેલો સ્ટાર્ટ કરવું છે?
હા હા
તો સ્ટાર્ટ કરું છું બરાબર.
ઓકે.
Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the next topic, batteries. Right? There are two types of batteries we are going to study today. One is primary battery, another is secondary battery. Now, what is the difference between primary and secondary? Primary battery means the battery which becomes dead after a long use and cannot be recharged. So, in short, you can say not recharged. And this can be recharged. So now it is clear. Primary battery means the battery which cannot be recharged, and secondary means the battery which can be recharged. Once you use a battery and if it is not rechargeable, we have to use throw it. Then that type of batteries are called primary, and those once it is used up, again it is recharged, they are rechargeable, then it is said to be secondary batteries. Now both the types of batteries we are going to study one by one in detail. The first is primary batteries. Number one, potential. Before discussing about the potential, I will give you the examples of primary batteries. First is dry cell or Leclanche cell. This is L. Because it was discovered by Leclanche, it is called dry cell or Leclanche cell. And second, mercury cell, the cell which we are using in wristwatch and all these things. And this cell we are using in transistor clock, right? So two types of primary batteries we are going to discuss today. Dry cell, that is called Leclanche, and second is mercury cell. Now we'll deal with the first one. First, dry cell, known as Leclanche cell, because it was discovered by Leclanche. Clear? In this cell is based on the principle of electrochemical cell. So here the principle is it converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Your dry cell converts chemical energy into electrical energy. That means it works on the principle of electrochemical cell. We have studied two types of cell. Electrochemical, second yesterday we have done electrolytic cell. So this works on the principle of electrochemical. Now, whenever we study any cell, we have to study three things. One is principle. We have written the principle. It converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Second is construction. Now the construction is very easy. I'll draw the construction. Take a cylindrical vessel. Made up of zinc, which act as anode, right? And take a vertical graphite electrode. This graphite electrode act as cathode. You know pencil cell, that is your Leclanche cell. It is being covered with MnO2 powder plus carbon. The graphite rod which act as cathode is covered with MnO2 plus carbon powder, and the remaining portion of the graphite rod, this portion, is filled with a paste of NH4Cl plus ZnCl2. So this is the construction. Again I am discussing. Take a cylindrical vessel made up of zinc having a closed bottom. Zinc act as anode. Take a graphite rod and held it vertically in the center of the container. See, it is in the center of the container, which act as cathode. Right? The mouth of the cylinder is closed, and this portion as well as this portion is being covered with an insulating material which does not allow the heat to go out during a chemical reaction. So this is your Leclanche cell. So construction is very simple. Take a cylindrical vessel having a closed bottom made up of zinc acting as anode. Take a graphite rod, held it vertically in the center of the container such that it doesn't touch the bottom of the container. That graphite rod acts as cathode. Cover the graphite rod. I have covered this graphite rod with MnO2 plus carbon powder, and the remaining portion is filled with a paste of NH4Cl and ZnCl2. So this is the construction. Now working. When working starts, in working, when anode and cathodes are connected, the following reaction takes place. This is your cathode and this is your anode. If you connect by a conducting wire, then the following reaction takes place. At anode, you know anode is zinc metal. So Zn solid will give you Zn2 plus 2 electron. So this is oxidation. And we know at anode is zinc, so it undergoes oxidation. At cathode, now at cathode MnO2 powder is there. It combines with NH4 plus and takes electron. It combines with NH4 MnO2 powder. It is in contact with NH4 paste. So this will give you hydroxy magnesium oxide plus, now 1H from here it is coming here, right? So what is left? Ammonia. Is this clear now? So two oxygen are here, 4 hydrogen, 3 plus 1, 4 hydrogen is also there, and plus charge minus charge is neutral, plus 2 minus 2. So the net reaction, if you want to write it, you can write, otherwise no need to write it. The important point in this reaction is that why it is primary means not rechargeable is, if you see the oxidation number is plus 4, oxygen is minus 2 into 2 minus 4, minus 4 will go on opposite side, plus 4. Here the oxidation number minus 2 into minus 2 minus 4, from minus 4 remove 1, minus 3 will go on opposite side, plus 3. So this is an important point, that plus 3 cannot be back oxidized. So as your plus 3 cannot be back oxidized to plus 4 oxidation state, the cell cannot be recharged. And that's why the cell is known as not rechargeable cell, means primary cell. So what is the reason that cell is not rechargeable? The plus 3 oxidation state of manganese cannot be back oxidized to plus 4. One more important point. Generally we used to say that it is a dry cell. Actually it is not 100% dry. So dry cell is not 100% dry. Why it is not 100% dry? Because it contains a paste of NH4Cl plus ZnCl2. And whenever there is a paste, you know, some moisture will be there. So it is not 100% dry. So the question can be asked, if the cell is 100% dry, then what will happen? This is not 100% dry. But if the cell is 100% dry, then it cannot conduct electric current. So this is important point. One more point, potential of the cell. It is 1.5 volt. This 1.5 volt potential, dry cell, Leclanche cell, you might have seen you are using in your batteries, in your remote, right? As well as in your torches. That big type of cell, they are thick, and these are thin, but the both have potential 1.5 volt. So, and where they are used in clock, transistor, etc. There are so many things where you can use this primary cell, yeah, dry cell. So primary cell, again I am repeating, cell which cannot be recharged after a long use are called primary cell. There are two types of primary cell, dry cell known as Leclanche because it was discovered by Leclanche, and second is mercury cell. Both we'll study. In dry cell, first construction, take a cylindrical vessel having a closed bottom made up of zinc, right, which act as anode. Take a graphite rod, held it vertically in the center of the container, which act as cathode, and it is surrounded by MnO2 plus carbon black powder. That's why I shown you by a black pen. The remaining paste, the remaining portion is filled with a paste of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride. And the three sides are being covered. The bottom part is not covered. Here you have to connect it. And this remains the open portion, right? Now, working. When anode and cathodes are connected by a conducting wire, the following reaction takes place. At anode, zinc is converted to Zn plus 2, it loses 2 electrons. At cathode, MnO2 combines with NH4 plus electron gives MnOOH, hydroxy magnesium oxide, plus ammonia. Now, some may think that, sir, this ammonia gas, when gas is created in the cell, it may create a pressure and there are chances of blasting the cell. So what will happen? This ammonia gas which is produced will combine with this zinc, Zn plus 2. So Zn plus 2 reacts with ammonia gas and forms a complex. Zn Na3 4 times 2 plus aqueous. It's an ion. So it forms a complex ion of the type this. So some may ask, see, ammonia is used up in the reaction. Zn plus 2 from ZnCl2 is also used up because it combines with the ammonia gas produced during the cell reaction at cathode. Otherwise, when gas is created in the cell, there are chances of blasting the cell. So this was about primary cell.
કેપ્ચર સર
Okay. અવાજ આવે છે
And
બરાબર
sir-
ક્લીન?
હા અવાજ ક્લીન આવે છે પણ લિટલ થોડુંક ઝૂમ કરજો ને.
ઝૂમ કરવું છે?
હા એટલે 3 સાઈડ ની જે બાજુ છે ને એ ઓછી થઈ જાય.
જોઈ લઉં કારણ કે આનાથી વધારે તો ઝૂમ મારામાં નથી દેખાતું. ચેક કરજો, બોલજો. બરાબર છે?
સેમ જ છે. ચાલશે તો સર. ચાલશે રહેવા દો સર.
Okay. Okay. Have you taken the screenshot?
યસ સર.
Okay.
યુ કેન કન્ટિન્યુ.
Now next is mercury cell. Mercury cell, it is also a primary cell. Here, mercury cell is used in low current device. Like hearing aids, watches, etc. Wristwatch. You can say it is a button cell, right? Small type of cell. Now, Here in construction, you can refer the diagram given in your NCERT textbook, right? But here anode is made up of zinc amalgam. Zinc amalgam, that is ZnHg. Hg means mercury, and metal in mercury is called amalgam. If zinc is there, it is called zinc amalgam. If you take sodium, it is called sodium amalgam. So here in mercury cell, anode is made up of zinc amalgam. You can refer dry cell, it was made up of zinc, right? Cathode is made up of mercury oxide, HgO plus carbon. In earlier case, cathode was made up of MnO plus carbon, right? So here it is, and third point is paste. Electrode paste is made up of KOH plus ZnO. So this is important point you have to remember in comparison to dry cell. In dry cell, anode is made up of zinc. In mercury cell, anode is made up of zinc amalgam. In dry cell, cathode is made up of MnO plus carbon. Here cathode is made up of actually it was graphite. Graphite means carbon, but it was surrounded by MnO. So here it is HgO plus carbon. And electrode paste, in earlier case the paste was NH4Cl plus ZnCl2. Here the paste is of KOH plus ZnO. Now working. On connecting anode and cathode, the following reaction takes place. Occurs at anode. Now you know anode is made up of zinc amalgam. So zinc amalgam will combine with the paste OH minus, and it will give you ZnO, zinc oxide, plus oxidation, 2 minus charge is there, so 2 electron will be lost, plus what is left? 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, H2. So when anode and cathodes are connected, the following reaction takes place at anode. At anode, zinc amalgam reacts with KOH, that is OH minus, and gets converted to zinc oxide plus 2 electron plus water. At cathode, now you know cathode is made up of mercury oxide, right, plus carbon. Carbon is an electrode, so that will take electron and combines with water to give you, why I am writing here, because you know opposite should be cancelled out. So 2 electron, water will be cancelled out. Here you will get mercury, Hg, liquid, Hg, you will get mercury, plus 2H and 2O, because I want to cancel this, 2OH minus. Clear? So minus 2 on this side, same minus 2 on this side. Now what is the net reaction? Yeah, overall reaction. In overall reaction, you can see here, 2 electron cancel on opposite side, water cancel, OH minus cancel, So the overall reaction is zinc amalgam combines with HgO to give zinc oxide plus mercury. So you can see here in the net reaction no ions are produced. No ions are produced in the net reaction throughout the life. Throughout the whole life of your cell, no ions are produced in the net reaction. See, none of the ion is there in the net reaction, right? And potential of the cell. What is the potential of the cell? I have written here in the beginning that it is used in low current devices. So the potential of the cell is 1.35 volt. So you can take a screenshot.
Done, sir.
Okay. So we have discussed two types of primary batteries: dry cell, mercury cell. Clear? And it is easy to remember if you compare both. Dry cell anode is zinc, mercury cell anode is made up of zinc amalgam. In dry cell cathode is carbon graphite. Here also it is carbon graphite, but covered with MnO. Here it is covered with, see, HgO, mercury oxide. That was manganese oxide. Clear? So remember like this, and you have to remember the paste. They can ask you the paste. So now we'll discuss rechargeable cell. Yeah, rechargeable batteries. That is secondary cell. Now second type, secondary cell. Cell or battery, one and the same thing, right? Secondary cell, again we are going to study two types. Here, total we are going to study three. The first one is lead storage. Lead storage. Second, nickel cadmium storage. And third, fuel cell. So we'll discuss all these three one by one. The first we'll start with lead storage. This year in your board exam, one question was asked from this. I'll tell you at the end of this chapter. Now, what is lead storage cell? A secondary cell, rechargeable. Rechargeable cell. Now, let us discuss principle. We know they are working on the principle of electrochemical cell. Now, construction. I'll write here construction. Take two zinc lead plates. These are the two lead plates. One lead plate, simple Pb, which act as anode. Another lead plate coated with PbO2. Here, it is PbO2. Right? This act as cathode. Plus, and here you can connect it externally. Both the lead plates are dipped in 38% weight by weight H2SO4 solution. So the construction is over. Take two lead plate, one simple lead plate acting as anode, another lead plate coated with PbO2 acting as cathode. Both the lead plates are dipped in 38% weight by weight H2SO4 solution. This type of lead storage cell we are using in our batteries, Exide battery and all this thing in our cars, in vehicles, right? And they are rechargeable, you know. And sometime when the battery discharges, then the mechanic will tell you that check the water. Actually, it is not water, it is 38% weight by weight H2SO4. Right? Let us see now. Working. Same. On connecting. Anode and cathode. Now see, what is the important reaction taking place? On connecting anode and cathode, at anode, you can see your lead plate is there, right? This lead plate combines with SO4 to minus ion and forms PbSO4 plus 2 electron, because Pb is losing 2 electron and converted to Pb plus 2, and it combines with SO4 to minus. So PbSO4 is formed. At cathode, cathode is PbO2. You can take PbO2, you can take PbO, both you can take, right? Now at cathode, what will happen? Again, as Pb is combining with SO4 to minus, PbO2 will also combine with SO4 to minus from the solution. But if you see the reaction, 2 SO4 to minus are used from sulfuric acid. So how many H plus are left? 4. So it combines with 4H plus. Cathode means reduction. So it gains 2 electron and gets converted to, let us see again. Here also it will be PbSO4 plus minus 2 minus 2, minus 4 minus 4 plus 4. It will be neutral. 4 hydrogens are there. So it will be 2H2O. So what is the net reaction? Two electron cancel. So net reaction is Pb plus PbO2 plus 4H plus and 2SO4. Can I write 2H2SO4 instead of writing separately? Gives 2 times PbSO4 plus 2H2O. So this is your net cell reaction. Now the important questions which are being asked. What is being consumed in the cell reaction? During this cell reaction, what is consumed? H2SO4 is consumed. Consumed means used up. So if they ask you the question, what is consumed in the cell reaction? H2SO4. And that's why we need to add H2SO4 periodically. As the battery goes down, we are adding water. That water is nothing but 38% weight by weight H2SO4, right? And they are asking you what is accumulated in the cell reaction. Accumulated matlab क्या इकट्ठा हुआ? PbSO4 is being accumulated, and both plays an important role. During discharging, when the cell decreases, the density of H2SO4 decreases. Simultaneously, PbSO4 increases. Now, whenever batteries are being discharged, suppose you are driving a car and the battery of your car is discharged, what you do? You will call your friends and tell them to push the car. आप बोलोगे धक्का मारो, गाड़ी शुरू हो जाएगी. अगर बैटरी पूरी डाउन हो गई तो क्या करोगे? अगर पूरी डाउन हो गई तो भी एक रास्ता है, फ्रेंड को बुलाओगे, दूसरी गाड़ी लेके आएगा और दूसरी बैटरी से उसको चार्ज करेगा. So same is the here. Once the battery is being discharged, your H2SO4 density decreases. So what you have to do to recharge the cell, you have to connect this cell with another battery. So when you connect the cell with another battery, the reverse reaction takes place. And due to reverse reaction, again H2SO4, PbO2 and Pb will be formed. So that is called charging reaction. This is discharging reaction. And both the reactions can be asked in the examination, right? But that recharging is not 100%. The mechanic, your friend will tell you that on the next day, you added 38% weight by weight H2SO4 solution. So to make rechargeable 100%, 38% weight by weight H2SO4 should be added periodically. So this you have to remember, right? Potential of the cell. What is the potential of the cell? It is 2 volt. The question arises, can we increase this potential? Yes, can be increased by connecting number of anodes and cathodes. If you have one anode and one cathode, 2 volt will be generated. Suppose in your car you want a battery of 12 volt, then you have to take a battery which contains 6 anode and 6 cathode. So it will generate 12 volts. If you want to increase from 12 to 14, you have to connect 7. It is understood, right? And where it is used? Used in automobiles, right? Then inverter. There are so many other where we can use this secondary cell, lead storage cell. But most important use is in automobile, right? Second one is also there. Nickel cadmium storage cell. NICD, nickel cadmium storage cell. Life is longer than lead storage. Life is longer than lead storage, but more expensive to prepare. So nickel cadmium storage cell life is longer than lead storage cell, but it is more expensive to prepare, so we don't use it commercially, right? So only the discharging reaction you can write it here. Cadmium combines with NiOH thrice and it gives you CDO plus 2 times NiOH twice. This is your discharging reaction of nickel cadmium storage cell. Plus, if you see here, hydrogen is 2, here hydrogen were 3, 3 to the 6, 2 to the 4, so 2 hydrogens are left and 1 oxygen. So this is discharging reaction. Yeah, discharge reaction. Only this much is given in your NCERT for nickel cadmium storage cell. But the question can be asked, what will be your anode in nickel cadmium storage cell? It is made up of cadmium. Cathode is made up of nickel. See why? Because you can see here, cadmium oxidation number is 0. Here cadmium oxidation number is +2. This is -2. -2 will go on that side, +2. So oxidation takes place. And you know oxidation takes place at anode. So anode is your cadmium, right? And here you can see OH is -1 into 3, -3 will go on that side, +3. Here it is +2. So reduction is of nickel. So these are two different storage cell, nickel cadmium storage cell, lead storage cell. Both are rechargeable. Nickel cadmium storage cell life is longer than lead storage cell, but we don't use it. Why we don't use it? To prepare it, more amount of money is required. It is more expensive. So no one is going to use it, even though it gives a longer life. Okay.
Done, sir.
They made, huh? ચાલશે. Now, the third one is fuel cell. These two we have completed. The third one is fuel cell. Now, why we need fuel cell? Right? First, I will discuss about the use of fuel cell. And this fuel cell you have studied in 11th, but not in detail. Hydrogen fuel cell. Now we know electricity is generated through power station, thermal power station. In thermal power station, they are using coal also, right? Coal gas. They can use oil to generate electricity. But in thermal power plant, when I'll write somewhat in detail. In thermal power plant, coal, gas, oil, they are heated, right, to generate energy. This energy is used to convert water into steam, to convert water into high pressure steam. This steam runs turbines. And when turbines are run, electricity is generated. Now you can see here. Look to this important point. In thermal power plant, a thermal power station, we are using coal, या gas, या oil. When they are heated, they generate energy. That energy is used to convert water into high pressure steam. And that high pressure steam will run the turbine. And when turbines are run, electricity is generated. So majority of the electricity is waste into the atmosphere. So here the electricity generated is around 40%. So what is the efficiency of thermal power plant to generate electricity? It is 40% maximum. Round about it is 25 to 30%. But maximum, if you take care that heat is not lost into the atmosphere, then generation will be 40%. Right? Now, fuel cell. What is fuel cell? A specially designed fuel cell is a specially designed cell, galvanic cell, in which fuels like hydrogen, methane, methanol, etc. are undergoing combustion, undergoes combustion directly. They undergoes combustion and produce heat. They undergoes combustion and produce heat, which is directly converted to electricity. Because you know, you have studied in galvanic cell, that cell in which the chemical reaction takes place and it is directly converted to electricity. Here also, combustion reaction takes place, it generates heat, and that heat is directly converted into electricity. When heat is directly converted into electricity, waste is minimized, right? So that the waste is minimized. Such cell is called fuel cell. So what is fuel cell? A specially designed galvanic cell in which the fuels like methane, hydrogen, methanol, etc. they undergoes combustion reaction and produce heat. That heat is directly converted into electricity so that the waste is minimized, right? And such cell is called fuel cell. So efficiency to generate electricity. Here it was maximum 40. Here it is 70 to 80%. In your NCERT, 70% is given, but maximum it goes to 80%. Now you can think of that which cell you will use to generate electricity. It is better to use fuel cell instead of thermal power station, because here 60% is wasted, here 30 to 20% is wasted, right? So maximum heat is being converted into electricity. So this is the aim of fuel cell, to minimize the waste. Now construction. No need to write principle because principle is galvanic cell, converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Now what is construction? Let us see. I will draw the diagram here. Take a cylindrical vessel. Right? This is a cylindrical vessel in which two porous carbon rods are fixed. This is porous carbon anode. And you know anode is negative. This is porous carbon cathode. Cathode is positive. Here water is removed. From here you can add oxygen and hydrogen. From here hydrogen gas. From here oxygen gas is allowed to pass. From here hydrogen gas is allowed to pass. Because it is a hydrogen fuel cell. So hydrogen is a fuel. Oxygen is a combustor. These porous carbon plates porous carbon plates are filled with platinum or palladium catalyst. Here both the porous carbon plates are filled with platinum or palladium, finely divided particles of platinum or palladium catalyst. Now you know the function of catalyst. It increases the rate of reaction. So platinum or palladium catalyst to increase the rate of electrode reaction. So this can be also asked as a short question in MCQ, right? Now, so construction is over. In construction, yes. What is filled in this? Electrolyte solution of concentrated aqueous NaOH solution is used. Between these two porous carbon plate, you have to fill a concentrated aqueous solution of NaOH. So this is the construction. Simple again. Take a cylindrical vessel in which two porous carbon plates are fixed. One porous carbon plate acting as anode, another porous carbon plate is acting as cathode. Pass hydrogen gas through anode, oxygen gas as a combustor through cathode, and between both the porous carbon plate, concentrated aqueous solution of NaOH is filled. Both the porous carbon plates are filled with a finely divided particles of platinum or palladium catalyst, and you know the function of catalyst. It increases the rate of electrode reaction. So this can be also asked as a short question. Now construction is over, right? I'll write construction over there. Construction. This is the construction. Now working. When fuel cell works, the following reaction takes place at anode. At anode. Now you know what is at anode? Hydrogen gas is present at anode. So that hydrogen gas will combine with OH minus. From the electrolyte solution and gets converted to 4H2O, right, plus 4 electrons. So this is oxidation. 4H2O plus 4 electron, right? At cathode, who is at cathode? Oxygen gas combines with OH minus, takes electron and get deposited as water. Sorry, water is here. So it combines with water because we have to cancel OH minus. I can write 2H2O, right? So 2H2 will be cancelled. So here I will get 4OH minus. So net reaction. What is the net reaction? Four electron cancel. Here 2 water, here 4 water. So how many waters are left? 2H2. In your book it is written liquid, but I'll write here gas. Why? I'll tell you. Here 2H2 plus O2 gas gives 2H2. This actually water is obtained in form of gas, means water is obtained in form of vapor. So this vapor is cooled down and it is used for drinking purpose for the astronauts. Why? Because fuel cell was used by the American scientist Neil Armstrong. Armstrong, A-N-G. Neil Armstrong during Apollo space program. Apollo space program. So this fuel cell was first used by the American scientist Neil Armstrong during Apollo space program, and when they went to the space, they cooled down the water vapor, and that water was used for drinking purpose. Now what is the importance of fuel cell? I told you one important point was that efficiency of fuel cell is 70 to 80% more than thermal power station. It creates no noise pollution. Neither creates air pollution, right? And one more important point is fuel cell was earlier used in automobile for experimental purpose. Automobile for experimental purpose. Why I am saying experimental purpose? Because here you can see you are using which fuel? Hydrogen, and hydrogen have highest combustion value. The combustion value of hydrogen is highest, which you have studied in 10th. And as its combustion value is highest, if it blasts, then it will create a chaos. So we are not using, but recently in India, one person in Surat has prepared a car which is running by water. By electrolysis of water, hydrogen is produced and oxygen is produced. Hydrogen is used as a fuel and oxygen is used as a combustor. Okay, so this was about fuel cell.
Capture, sir.
Done?
Done.
Okay. Now, the last topic of this chapter. रिजन सर, हेलो,
हाँ सर.
हाँ, कोनो कॉल आई गयो એટલે.
Okay.
Now can you hear me?
Yes sir.
Okay. Now corrosion. Corrosion means rusting of iron. Right. Then green patches are formed on copper and bronze utensils. Then shining of silver gets tarnished. So rusting of iron takes place. Green patches are formed on copper and bronze utensils. Shining of silver get tarnished. All this happens due to corrosion, right? And what is corrosion? When metal comes in contact with air, it gets corroded. When metal comes in contact with air, or you can say moisture, it gets corroded. So all these phenomena are due to corrosion. Yeah, due to rusting of iron and all these things. Now important point is, suppose this is a piece of metal. This is a piece of iron. So whenever there is a slight bend on the surface of iron, then that part acts as anode. Wherever there is a slight bend on the surface of iron, then that part acts as anode. And at anode, Fe gives Fe2 plus 2 electron. The 2 electron will move from anode to such a place where it can reduce oxygen from the air in presence of 4H plus 4 electron. To write it 4 electron, I can write 2 Fe, gives 2 Fe plus 2 plus 4 electron. Right? So whenever there is a slight bend on the surface of iron, it acts as anode. Moreover, there is an impurity of copper also in iron. So that part acts as anode. At anode, Fe undergoes oxidation. It loses electron. That electron will move from anode to such a place where it can reduce oxygen of air. It can reduce oxygen of air into water. So these are the reaction taking place at anode and cathode, right? So now what will happen? At anode, two Fe gives 2 Fe2 plus 4 electron. At cathode, oxygen of air combines with H plus and takes this 4 electron and get deposited as 2H2O liquid. And you know, when iron comes in contact with water, it gets corroded, right? Now important point is, you may think that sir, oxygen is coming from air, electrons are coming from anode, from where H plus is obtained. So the question arises in your mind, H plus is obtained by decomposition of H2CO3, carbonic acid. This H plus is obtained by decomposition of carbonic acid. You can write 2H2CO3. I can write the decomposition reaction. 2H2CO3 on decomposition gives 4H plus 2CO3 2 minus. By this way H plus is obtained. Now you may think that from where H2CO3 is obtained. Is obtained by reaction between carbon dioxide in air with H2O moisture. So these two, CO2 in air with moisture combines to give H2CO3. So now you might have understood from where H plus is obtained. Carbon dioxide in air combines with H2O, that is moisture, on the surface of metal and forms carbonic acid. That carbonic acid decomposes to give H plus. That H plus is used at cathode and will reduce oxygen to water molecule. During this process, what will happen? This Fe2 plus is oxidized to Fe3 plus in presence of air and forms Fe2O3, which combines with the water molecule, and this is called rust. So the Fe2 plus again gets oxidized to Fe3 plus in presence of air. You can say O2 minus also. Fe3 plus combines with O2 minus, gives Fe2O3 and combines with the moisture at cathode and forms rust. So here rusting starts. This is your rust. It is nothing but Fe2O3 dot XH2O. We used to write XH2O. Here you can write 2H2O. So by this way corrosion takes place, and this is the mechanism of corrosion. Now, prevention of corrosion. You know how to protect the iron from undergoing corrosion. One, does not allow the iron to come in contact with air, right? Stop the contact of Fe oblique metals with air by painting, right? Second, by galvanizing, right? That is coating of zinc oblique tin on iron. This is also one of the method. Third is by the use of chemical. Actually, they are called inhibitors, right? Example, bisphenol. This they can ask you. And fourth and the last one, which you have studied, sacrificial anode. Like zinc oblique magnesium block. In steamer. This also you might have studied in lower class. That zinc and magnesium blocks are used in steamers. The bottom part of the steamer is made up of iron, and that bottom part of the steamer is always in contact with the water. So it may undergo corrosion, but they are using zinc or magnesium. So when zinc and magnesium is attached to iron, zinc and magnesium undergoes oxidation. And iron will not undergo oxidation because it will act as cathode. So by this way you can protect the corrosion of iron. So who is being sacrificed at the bottom part of the steamer? Zinc or magnesium block. That's why they are called sacrificial anode, because oxidation of zinc and magnesium takes place at anode and they are being sacrificed. So time to time in the steamer also you have to replace the zinc or magnesium block attached to iron. So here your chapter is over, theoretical portion.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now if you want to write overall reaction, that 4 electron will be cancelled and remaining you can join it if you want to write it, right? Overall reaction. Now, I would like to take 4 MCQs which are being asked in the March examination this year. Four MCQs have been asked. The first is an electrochemical cell can behave like an electrolytic cell. Can behave like an electrolytic cell. This we have done in theory. When option A, E cell is less than E external, B, E cell, yeah, you can say E0 cell, is greater than E external, C, E cell is equal to E external, and D, E cell is 0. Now, in the beginning in Daniell cell, I told you the cell E cell potential of Daniell cell was 1.10, and in that we have written the condition that if E cell is greater than 1.10 volt, greater than 1.10 volt means what? 1.10 is E cell and this will be E external. 1.10 volt is of galvanic cell, which we have calculated using zinc and copper. So if it is greater than, sorry, E external is greater than 1.10, then it acts as electrolytic cell. Reverse reaction takes place. So your answer is this one. E external greater than 1.10 means E cell is less than external, and E cell is less than external means answer is A. Right? Second question was, with increasing order of reducing power, with increasing order of reducing power of the following: metals on the basis of standard electrode potential. With, sorry, it is which is increasing order. Which is increasing order. Let us see. Options are, values are given. AG plus oblique AG, 0.80 volt. Mg2 plus oblique Mg, minus 2.37 volt. Hg2 plus oblique Hg, 0.79 volt. And Cr3 plus oblique Cr, minus 0.74 volt. Right? Now, options are A, Hg less than Ag less than Mg less than Cr. B, Cr less than Mg less than Ag less than Hg. C, Mg less than Cr less than Hg less than Ag. And D, Ag less than Hg less than Cr less than Mg. Now how will you solve? For solution I am giving you the hint. Higher E0 reduction potential, lower will be the reducing power. Now find out higher E0. Who is having highest E0? Silver. So silver should be at the end. At the end silver is there. Sorry, it will be first because we are writing increasing order. So silver should be first. Here not, silver is not there, not there, not there, not there. This one is there. But let us check it. After silver, say mercury is there. After mercury, these two values are there. Which is higher value? This one, chromium. So chromium and last manganese. So your correct answer is D, based on your hint, right? Third question asked, third MCQ asked was lambda 0 m for HAC is equal to, four options were given. A, lambda 0 m HCl plus lambda 0 m case AC plus lambda 0 m NaC. B, I'll write B here because space is not there. B, lambda 0 m HCl plus lambda 0 m NaAC minus lambda 0 m NaCl. C, lambda 0 m KCl plus lambda 0 m KAC plus lambda 0 m HCl. It is minus sign. And D option is also given. Lambda 0 m KCl plus lambda 0 m NaAC minus lambda 0 m NaCl. So out of these four options, which will be the correct? Yesterday I told you you have to select yourself, but already these values are given. Let us see now. You require HAC. HAC means acetic acid. So you require H plus, AC minus. Can you get H plus here? Yes. But can you get AC minus here? This is minus sign. Sorry. Can you get AC minus here? Here you can get it, but it will be cancelled out. So this is not a correct answer, right? This one, H is not there, so no question of selecting this. Yes, H plus is there, but H is in form of minus sign. So this is also not correct. Let us see this one. Here we get H plus. Along with that Cl, Cl is cancelled here, minus sign. Here we get Na plus, Na minus, cancel, and we get Ac. So your answer is B. Right? And the fourth MCQ, which was asked, while charging the lead storage battery, while charging the lead storage battery, what is correct that you have to write? A, PbSO4 on cathode is changed to Pb. B, PbSO4 on anode is changed to Pb. C, PbSO4 on cathode is changed to PbO. And D, PbSO4 on anode changes to PbO2. Now what will be the correct answer? I told you lead storage cell, anode Pb gives PbSO4. Cathode PbO2 plus SO42 minus. Here also it was SO42 minus. Right? But finally it was converted to PbSO4 plus water. These are discharging cell. Here they have asked charging. So what will happen in charging? Reverse reaction takes place. Now what is the correct? PbSO4 is converted to PbO2 at cathode. Cathode. PbSO4 on cathode is changed to Pb. No, it is converted to PbO2. At cathode it is converted to PbO. No, it is converted to PbO2. So cathode is wrong. So these two answers are wrong. Right? Because it is converted to reverse. PbSO4 is converted to PbO2 at cathode, which is wrong. Now let us check at anode. PbSO4 is converted to Pb at anode. PbSO4 is converted to Pb. This is PbO2, so this is also wrong. And PbSO4 at anode is converted to Pb. It is like this. So this is correct answer. You can see this. Because charging means reverse reaction. Charging means reverse reaction. So these 4 MCQs were asked in this year, March 2020. If you have any doubt, then you can tell. Nitin sir.
Capture, sir.
So here all the topics are being covered. So in the next lecture, we will do the in-text question. So please keep your textbook with you. Clear? As well as if possible, you can write the questions and leave the space for the answers. So we'll solve the answers. I will not write the question. I will speak out the question and I will write the answer. Okay, then sir.
Yes, sir.
Then sir, ask them if they have any doubt. You can unmute them. Otherwise, we can stop here.
No.
Okay, then stop the meeting.
नौकरी क्या